Are you ready for Combat Night?
What is up, guys? We are one day removed from Combat Night Pro Kissimmee, and we had a fantastic night of fights, joined by compatriots, Coach Ben and Black Santa. What's up, guys?
What's up, man?
So, man, we had an exciting night of fights, and the place was packed, a raucous room. What'd you guys think?
I had a good time. I was hanging out.
Yeah, it was pretty chill.
Yeah, no big deal.
Always.
I love the Silver Spur. I love the Silver Spur Arena. It's like one of my favorite places to go in Florida. One, it's close to home. Two, it's huge. Three, there's secret staff bathrooms. But anyway, it's always.
I'm glad to put you onto that. Glad to put you onto that.
Yeah, I really appreciate that so much. We use the big cage at Silver Spur, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was.
I love the big cage because I like to see movement in fights, and since we get to break that out, we get a lot of it. And to be frank, like, dude, our mid card was like shit more than the region's main event. We were putting on some crazy fights last night.
Yeah, I think Richard Cox really outdid himself on this card because from top to bottom, all the way through the amateur card and through the pro card, it was just dynamite. With
shoot, and
yeah.
Richard Cox is a marksman of the matchmakers.
Yeah, he crushed that. So, we're going to sit here and we're going to go through the fights and, comment on, performances, expectations, and how things played out and stuff. But what do you guys, before we do that, tell me one fight that stood out to you. You don't have to break it down, just one that you're looking forward to highlighting.
The Hernandez brothers for me. I'm a big fan of those guys. If I was looking at any major highlights, those two look fantastic.
Agreed. Yeah, what about you, Miles?
Yeah, I was about to David Angel, his fight, all these young guys, especially like in the gym, they call me Unc. So any of these young guys who have making their debut to like under 3 professional fights. So like Brian Santiago, Jackson Stanford, David Angel, like those guys there, I was definitely looking forward to seeing them as they progress from their, outstanding amateur career with Combat Night into now their professional, career. And Jackson and Lucas, I train with those guys. So that, too, icing on the cake. But then also, too, being able to see guys from other gyms like, David Angel over there at American Martial Arts Academy, or Brian, make money, not friends, Santiago over there out of Fusion, man. Just the sheer just striking, aspects that I've seen him elevate to from not just being a wrestler or a grappler. Like, that was awesome to watch.
Something that's always fun for me is just the evolution of, having done this for so long and then seeing guys, I've seen guys make their amateur debut, have a full amateur career, whatever it is, 6, 10, 12 fights, turn pro, have a few pro fights and work their way up to being like main card, main event of the pro, the pro portion of things. And that's just a cool thing for me to like get to see, to have gotten to see all of these guys, like not all of them, but a lot of them evolve from their very first fight all the way to main card, and for a handful of them, all the way to the big show. So that's and this card was evident of that as well. We had some guys on the main card that we observed all of their amateur bouts, like you said, Brian Santiago and stuff, like have been with us for a lot of their amateur bouts.
It kind of makes you feel old, doesn't it?
In some ways,
not old, but just seasoned and
seasoned.
Man, Miles, you're what, like 33?
I'm at 35.
35. See, you've just entered Unk status.
Man, I think they say Unk's like 25 now.
The Unk is just, if you're the oldest person out of
this is my understanding, right? 15 to 25 is what they refer to as a YN, and then 25 to 35 is big bro, and then 35 to 45 is Unk.
No, Unk starts
45 to 55
starts at 30.
is OG, and 65 to 75 is old head, and then Gramps beyond that.
No, Unk starts at like 28, 29.
Yeah, and I feel like
Yeah, close enough.
I feel like old head is like 40.
Why is he 22 and under?
I just want to be an OG one day.
Chat, correct us if we're wrong, because Miles is a middle school teacher, so he would definitely be more hip to this than.
Well, now I deal with high school and college kids, so now I'm
okay.
Yeah, so now I'm over there at UCF and high schools around the surrounding area. So now it's like, okay.
Wait, what are you doing now? Are you not teaching?
No, not teaching. I'm outside the classroom. So I'm an academic support coordinator. So just helping kids with college and career, academic success and different things like that. So utilizing just the program nature of things. So no more having to grade papers. Now it's just helping students to make sure.
That kind of fits your personality. You're a nice guy. You like to help people.
Yeah, exactly. Like I used to be a fighter. Don't mean that I'm really a nice guy. Unless you piss me off, then that's.
Is it like guidance, Miles? Like putting kids choosing course paths and stuff, or
not necessarily. Like I'm not the one that chooses the courses for them. So basically, I help them with everything outside of the classroom. So I take them on different college trips, tour different colleges. I help them how to navigate finding different scholarships. I put on different workshops. So I'll bring in like different speakers from different colleges to speak to them on a monthly basis. I'll bring in different different careers, aspirations. And so I'll bring in an engineer to come talk to the kids. I'll bring in somebody from UCF, somebody from here, a whole bunch of different places to talk to them. And then also too, I meet with them on a weekly basis. Like, hey, look at this grade in this class, man. You got to do better. Hey, you said you wanted to get into UF. All right, well, what are we gonna do? From your freshman year, sophomore year, junior, senior year. All right. This now we need to start filling out college.
So do you specialize in like athletes or like a select group of like higher or upper echelon?
Well, the standard for the program it's an upper bound program. So technically speaking, you have to be a first generation college student and low income. But I mean, if they send somebody to my office, oh man, he has a question, I'm gonna help everybody. But as far as like the program, who gets to go like on the trips and those type of things, you have to be within that those limitations of that program.
That sounds like a pretty cool program, man.
Yeah, I like it.
You mean you don't just go home and like ring announce at home? There's
No, my son, he does that. He'll like just you saw him at the press conference after. He's like, Daddy, can I take the microphone? And he's like, hey guys, this is Mini Black Santa. I was like, so you want to be a fighter? He says, oh, Daddy, I want to be a commentator. I was like, so you got to be a fighter first. He's like, no, I just want to commentate for us. I was like, well,
he wants to take my path. Yes.
Like, hey, you can just be the guy who's obsessed with fights.
Like, no, what is going to be your credentials? So you got to fight. He's like,
I mean, yeah, he'll have to build his rep. It'll be harder, but you can do it. Robin Black never fought,
Now his thing is baseball. That's his go-to.
Man, Ramsey fought in the streets, brother, in the streets.
All right, so to the matter at hand. Let's just start from the top. Our main event was the middleweight title fight. Val Woodburn was defending his title against Vanilto Antunes. Val came in 8-2. Vanilto was 16-8. Super season. We know Val's a UFC vet looking to make his way back up. And man, that was a squabble,
dude.
Yeah, it was.
There was a lot of cage wrestling. It might not have been the fight that you would expect from these two, but it was the fight that had to be had, right? We saw early on in the first that Antunes was getting the better of the distance. He was the longer fighter, and his jab was really sharp. He cracked Val bad with a few shots on the outside. But I think Val's power made a huge difference there, because as soon as Val landed his first overhand lead hook combo, Antunes started taking steps back. He would get confident in spurts, But Val's cage pressure and just head fighting, taking him down, him getting up, just burning him up, because Val's going to launch that overhand left hook no matter what. He's just slowing him down, making sure he's going to be there. And then he got beat on enough. Val got a solid takedown in the third, and it was over quite quickly.
Yeah, it's like he always has that in his back pocket, as he was taking some serious body shots that were just taking the gas out of him, and then he would just launch one of those overhands and back Antunes up. And let me pull up the final sequence. All right. Well, hold on, I got the wrong video. That's Siddiq.
So here's a question, since we're looking for videos. I've always known Val to be a Fusion XL guy, but I see now he has like a TD boxing and fitness, and then we saw like 5 guys that were like Fusion and Dark Wolf. And Miles, you might be more informed as you're an Orlando native fighter. How does all the cross training work? Because at a certain point, it's like 4 or 5 different gyms in the same room.
Well, I think when it comes to, and I haven't been there, I'm not there all the time or whatever. I've been there once to do the footage for the stuff and like that. But I think what some of the guys do is like they have like their, home gyms, and then like they show up on Saturdays. Julian is really cool about like, hey, whoever want to pull up. I know some people from other gyms like, no, here and there or whatever, you can't go back and forth, or they may let you train here and maybe one other place, or some people like, oh, you got to pick place. But Julian's like, hey man, whoever want to come, Saturday, show up. We got it going on. As long as you don't come with no big head, no big egos. He's super cool about that. So I think that's what some people do. They'll go there for the Saturday for their pro and amateur sparring days, where they do like intense grueling rounds of kickboxing, big gloves, little gloves.
So a lot of these people that are cross training or claiming like multiple gyms are just there for like sparring days. They're not really getting their
maybe I think some people might do maybe like 2 days a week at one gym, or maybe 2 or 3 days a week at one gym, and then 2 or 3 days a week at Fusion.
Gotcha. Man, fighters must be getting paid way better than they did in my day. Who could afford all those dues?
So we're just going to pick up here towards the end of the third, and this was kind of what we saw throughout the course of the first couple rounds. Val was able to get takedowns, couldn't really keep him down. Antunes did a great job of getting up. Antunes had that Muay Thai background, and that's where a lot of the knees and body shots are coming from. This was kind of the beginning of the end here. Once Val did get him down and got his back, he was in this choke for a hot second.
Man, props to Antunes. He was under the chin. He was in dead to rights for I think like 2 minutes, maybe a minute and a half. He fought his ass off to stay in there.
Yeah, and he was doing all the right things right here. He was, trying to fight the hands.
Yeah.
Val just was stretching him out.
Man, Val is not a small man. That squeeze is tight, and he's just gutting it out.
There it came as soon as they rolled over to that side. And for as grueling a fight as it was, that he could, he mustered the strength to hold on to that choke and, not lose it there about halfway through the third at the end.
Quite a burn.
Yeah, big burn. And that was our main event, and, it didn't disappoint. The co-main event, Angel Mercado and Ronald Girones Sago.
Say that name 5 times fast.
I don't even think I said it right the first time. So a lot was on the line for Angel Mercado. He came in 9-1. Obviously, a shiny record like that is going to garner some attention. He said in his post fight after he picked up the win, like UFC, what do I got to do? Like, give me a call. So he took his record to 10-1 in a pretty decisive and impressive victory over Sago.
Man, he doesn't even have like a commentary friendly nickname to use.
No.
Yeah, I just call him a troubleshooter because that's his Instagram name. Same thing with Brian Santiago. He didn't really have a nickname. I just say, I see your Instagram name. I was like, okay, I can rock with that. Like,
I think he actually uses that as his nickname. I really appreciate a really long nickname, so I support him. Man, we saw classic Angel Mercado here. That right hand is laser straight. It splits dudes' guards so consistently, it's crazy. But what that tells us, he doesn't flare his elbow, he uses his shoulders, he's got a good pivot, and he snaps his thumb down, which is awesome. And that stunned the shit out of Sago. He sat Sago back so clean with that right hand on multiple occasions. It was crispy.
And Sago, a 5'6" lightweight, he was a little keg of dynamite.
He kind of like reminds me of Hector Lombard build wise.
Yeah, he was short and stocky. It's kind of like like you said, the Cuban version of Val. Like
he just wasn't really able to get anything going. There was a definitive reach advantage, and he was having to lurch and lunge, and Angel was able to measure his distance pretty easily.
Yeah, Angel's way longer than her. I think he had 6 inches on him in height.
Yeah, it was like I think his opponent was 5'6" and Angel's like 6 feet. And I think in this fight, you definitely, for me personally, I was able to see, the elevation of Angel Mercado's striking, because a lot of times before we see grappling, bring somebody over to the cage, drag him into deep waters, finish him with a submission or ground and pound. And you saw a little bit of that here in the beginning, right? He tried, Ronaldo came in at him, he pushed him up against the fence and tried to take him down. But then he was like, wait a second, let me just use my range. And then when Ronaldo, touched him up a little bit, it was like, oh no. And then within 15, 20 seconds, he was like, nah, let me finish this. Boom, 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 and sat him down.
Man.
I think sometimes that's what it takes for fighters. You just gotta wake up just a little bit. They're like, all right, nah, it's no more playing around.
Yeah, it's like your first clip at the range. It takes you a second to get your cluster right. But he was picking him apart on the outside. Sago couldn't get close to him.
Mm-mm. And the tale of the story was what you mentioned, was that laser right hand. At one point in this sequence, he's going to start just pumping it. He throws a right and it rocks him, and he just throws it over and over and over.
Yep. He's not a very diverse tool base, at least not that he displays. I'm sure he has them, but he's got a nice jab. He's got a beautiful right hand. His right leg is clean, and he's staying right there,
just like that.
He stays in his wheelhouse. You've got to make him get out of his game, and thus far, not many people are able to.
Yeah, it was an impressive. Oh, I moved it away before he did the thing that.
Yeah, pissing on their side, because I heard there was a little bit of trash talking from the challenger side. I guess in the back they were talking a whole bunch of mess and junk to Andrew Mercado and the rest of the Fusion guys over there. So that's where that came from.
What's the point? It's sports, man. Why you gotta be a jerk?
Yeah, plus we're about to fight. If anything else, like maybe like football, basketball, baseball, whatever other sports, it's like, oh man, you said to me, I want to fight you. You fouled me hard. I want to fight you, man. We beat you guys. When it comes to MMA, man, what else left is there to do but in the cage? Like,
yeah. So yeah, decisive, impressive win for Angel there, picking up that TKO in the first round, and retained his lightweight belt. We also had the Florida Man belt, which is kind of like our BMF belt, and that was that's held by Thorn Thorn and was being fought for by Cedric Lusant and Thorn Thorn, and that ended up going to a decision. Pretty, that was a hard fought contest, and at the end. It was not the same type. Obviously, it went to a decision. It wasn't the same type of performance that we got from Thorn whenever he won the belt, which was,
against Corey,
which is a 30-second, 27-second something knockout. But Cedric came to play, and
he really did, man. Cedric leveled up big time.
Yeah. What'd you see, Ben?
Man, so I kind of thought Thorn was going to steamroll him. Cedric in the past hasn't showed the ability to really handle being pressured very well. He steps back, he runs himself into the cage, etc. He tends to excel on the front step and initiating grappling off short combinations. Thorne is a spark plug, man. He's a stick of dynamite. When he starts ripping, there's a lot of muscle torquing through those shots, and he's gonna fire off whether you're in front of him, hands on or hands off. You know, and I thought Cedric was gonna walk into a machine gun, but Cedric met him in the middle, dead on halfway. Thor fought first, or shot first. He got cracked in the first engagement, big time. I think
what up, Brian?
His whole game plan.
Yeah, it certainly did. I think when they came out and they got into the initial exchange and they were just both ripping, because at the press conference they had a little back and forth of like, oh, we're gonna have a gentleman's no shoot thing. And Cedric was like, he's like, I don't plan on shooting, but if the shot's there, I'm gonna take it. And Thorne kind of was like, made it sound as if he had no plans to shoot, but whenever he was getting as good as he was given in that initial exchange, it turned into a real MMA fight.
Man, Cedric clipped him early. Cedric's right straight was really sharp this go around. Honestly, I think it's the best striking I've seen out of him. And he was even doing a pretty good job of staying alive with Thor's pressure, both on the cage and on top. When Thor fought Sham's known for being an absolute powerhouse, like a strength freak. And when he got out of the fight with Thor, and he was like, man, that guy is fucking strong. Like he was burnt up, at the end of it. It was like they were even, if not, he was stronger than Sham. Like, it's impressive how well he handled it.
Yeah, he even
like I said, go ahead, Miles.
He even said after, so man, what happened? At the press conference, you guys like, I'm not gonna shoot. He's like, man, I just did what I had to do. And also too, he alluded to having a pretty bad weight cut, right? All those muscles and stuff. I don't know what Theron walks around in, but all those muscles, man, having to come down and cut a lot of weight, and you're draining, your body of the water and stuff like that. So sometimes he's still early on in his MMA career, so it's still like trying to fine tune. Okay, this much week out, this is how much it be. This much week out, this is how much it be. All right, these are the different food combinations that'll help, best to refuel myself back up. So hopefully he comes from this weight cut, because that's what they said. The fight is the weight cut.
At the weigh-ins, Theron had missed weight by 0.2, and Cedric said, "Oh, I'll give him 30 more minutes to cut it and make it official." And so Theron went and took the 30 minutes and made the weight on the nose. So
so is the Florida Man title considered a real title by the state?
No,
because they do other extra stuff for people fighting for titles in Florida. You have to take drug tests and stuff that not everyone else has to. They're normally random. So I was just wondering if the Florida Man belt is a real belt or if it's like a gimmick.
I think it's the more the latter, since we have 155 like the actual title holder.
They should combine them. If Angel Mercado doesn't get a call up, to the UFC by the end of this year, which he probably should, then they should just 155 versus 155, meet in the middle.
Who at 155 is really on the contender list for Angel right now? Thor's got to be on that list, right?
Yeah, he's 5-1 now.
Yeah, 5-1. Sham's probably on that list. He's 7-1. But I think Thor's probably been the most active. Cedric has been active, but he's been a little up and down. I'm trying to think of anyone else that jumps out at me at 155. That would be like a next good fight for Angel. I mean, you could argue Babcock, but they train at the same place, so that's not going to happen.
Well, Babcock's dropping down to 45, I believe.
True. Didn't he say he wants to fight 45 next week?
Yeah, he said he didn't get. I know him. He said, "Man, I could fight next week in Tallahassee. I know Brian Santiago said, man, I can fight next week in Tallahassee. So that would definitely be a massive turnaround for both of those gentlemen if they could find each of those, guys' opponents, or even, get them to fight. I know this October card in Hollandale, Florida is going to be down to the pro, bringing pro cards.
If I don't have
let's get some
guys on that card, I'm going to be so pissed.
Let's get
If you don't have what?
If I don't have guys on that card, I'm going to be so pissed.
If I don't see Kurt on that card, I'm going to be pissed.
Dude, Kurt was texting me all through the teen fights yesterday.
I know he wants to focus on MMA, but it's not going to hurt him to take another kickboxing fight.
He turns 18 in December. So 1 or 2 more, cool. If he wants to wait, cool. I know like none of my guys got to fight third quarter, so I'm hoping that changes come October. So in the meantime, most of my team is doing the Point Muay Thai tournament that we're hosting in Davie, just to stay fresh.
Mm-hmm.
So I know he wants to fight. Not even a question. I know he wants to. So we just got to set one up.
Yeah, there was another lightweight bout before that one. Kurt Ellis and Eddie Perez Bruno. That one had a kind of a weird ending.
Yeah, it looked like Ellis either popped his ankle or dislocated his toe or something.
Yeah, it's like the way when Eddie took him down. I don't know if the way his it just you see the way it pivoted or twisted.
Yeah, this is pretty much the moment right here.
Yeah, if you look at his right foot, it sticks, and then when the takedown, it pops off the ground, and then he starts screaming.
Yeah, right there. As soon as Isaiah Gabal heard that, he was like, nah. I don't know where it's coming from, but it's over.
I'll say this: better your toe than your knee.
Which is exactly what Perez Bruno is coming off of. I know he took a couple of fights with his knee tore up, then went and had to get the surgery and rehab from that. And he looked in phenomenal shape.
He did. He looked really good. He's even numbers now. Just another little push. He's back on the dubs.
I saw there's a couple of replays of it, but you really just can't see from the angle that we have what exactly happened.
Sure
but
if it was his ankle or his toe, because we were watching him from the booth, and at one point he was just hanging onto his toe.
Yeah, he was hobbling around a little bit, but he still couldn't even tell from the hobble whether it was ankle, knee, toe.
Maybe it's a bunion.
Prior to that, scheduled was a flyweight WMMA bout. Unfortunately, Stephanie Calderon suffered an injury in the locker room during the warm up, and so that fight did not happen.
Brutal. Do we know how it happened?
It's my understanding she was just warming up and rolled something fun. I don't even know if it was her ankle or her knee or what exactly it was. I just got the word that it was off.
I heard someone say her knee, and they said it was bad, but no other details. So who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know.
I wore specifically a blue suit. I wore Calderon blue just for. I wore Stone Cold Calderon blue just for that matchup.
Can we talk about Miles's fit? Miles has been stepping up the fit. How many suits do you have now? 5, 6?
Yeah, somewhere in that range, 5. Yeah.
No, are you getting these tailor made?
Because I've put on, so it's really 3 or 4 that are in rotation. Because 1 to 2 of them, they ain't.
They're too small or they're too big.
They're too small. I'm about to give them to Junior. I'm gonna give them to Little Man the next time I see him.
So
Roman or Ramsey Jr. to have them.
How are you picking your colors? Do you have a stylist?
Yes,
because we're not dealing with black and charcoal. We're talking baby blue and violet.
My daughter's my stylist.
Dude, that's awesome.
She's my stylist. I go in the I say go in my closet and I have a general idea what I want to do.
Do you want to shout out your tailor?
So
there's no way you're going to Men's Warehouse.
I go to Banana Republic or
they have suits.
Yeah, Banana Republic. Yeah. you got to go to
That's
the
some white people shit, bro.
like go to Banana Republic, and then my daughter, she picks. I say, hey, this one or this one? She go, oh, go with that one, Daddy. I was like, so what shirt should I wear?
Man, Miles, listen to me. Listen to me, Miles. Lie. Tell everyone you have them tailored, specially made. Lie.
I just say, I know my body just naturally fits. I have a,
An ideal physique.
Miles just saying, hey.
Exactly. They don't need no alterations.
Damn.
So prior to that was another lightweight bout with somebody that you were just mentioning, Derek Babcock versus an undefeated Derek Babcock versus a surging Francisco Sagrado. And Derek Babcock came out and put a halt to the surge
quickly. Man, Babcock's an animal. I've been watching this kid since Rise of a Warrior, like when he was 17 or 18 years old or something. Like, he used to be like a wild animal. You know, I had him in my gym when he was young, and I was like, keep an eye on this kid. He's going to be trouble. He was just so intense. And now, bro, he's grown so much. He's matured so much in the game. He still gets a little nervous beforehand, but that nervous energy fuels him. You see how he starts? You know, it's like a NOS can in your car. He just shoots across the ring, you know? And when he hits his stride, and I think that's 5 finishes by a rear naked choke now. Like, he's a test for anyone. He's crushing it, man.
Yeah, and you know, now he's 6-0, and certainly one to watch.
Yeah, I want to see what the next step is for him. Like, are we going to start jumping into, you know, harder competition? I mean, you said he was going down to 145.
Yeah, I think, and then during his push, I forgot the guy that he called. It was, I'll drop down to 145 for him. Like, he was, I think even the last
he called out Juan Porto, but Juan Porto was a 155. He fought Angel not too long ago.
I know before he was like, man, I'll drop down to 45.
He was looking way skinny as compared to before.
Prior to that, there was a welterweight bout, Ali Abusalam and Lucas LaRue. Lucas LaRue, both of these guys undefeated. Ali 3-0, Lucas 2-0. Ali pretty much making a splash here in his mid-30s, and Lucas coming off of an injury and some rehab. I know that's one of your teammates, Miles. What did you observe in that fight and think of that fight?
Yeah, I definitely think that in the first round, it went as expected. You know, Ali was going to try to come in and drag him to the ground. I know he said, you know, during the press conference, he was going to, you know, finish him with a head kick knockout. A couple times he tried to call it there, but Lucas, you know, being tall and rangy and just utilize his range and keeping his hands up, he was able to stop that from happening. And then the first round, he successfully, you know, stopped pretty much all of the takedown attempts that Ali had. Like, that's what, you know, Lucas has been working on in the gym and try to just utilize his range and, you know, pop him. But then, like, in the second and third round, that's where Ali sort of, you know, definitely, you know, got him down and kept him down. That was the key thing with him, especially Ali. You know, that's part of his game plan, as we've seen throughout all 4 of his, you know, professional bouts with Combat Night now. It's like, he'll get you up against the cage, he'll drag you down, and he'll try his best to keep you there.
Yeah, man.
I want to take this to the. Go ahead.
No, go.
I was just going to say I wanted to run this clip to the very end of the third round, because right at the bell, Lucas LaRue hits him with a knee that had it happened 10 or 15 seconds earlier, that might have stopped the show.
Yeah,
5 seconds earlier could have been the end. He crumpled
after fighting, you know, a really like tactical fight. I think he was hunting a head kick. He did flick it up there a number of times throughout the fight. None of them really landed. And he was having to deal with that. You know, Lucas LaRue is tall. There was certainly a height advantage and in that clinch. Lucas LaRue was pumping some knees to the face throughout the fight.
My assumption is, I think by the third round, LaRue was having a hard time keeping up the cardio. You know, he looked great in the first. I came in late in the first. I was, you know, working in the back and stuff. But his distance management was great. His jab was really solid. He was keeping Ali on the outside and forcing him to strike and be long. And as the fight got longer, Ali was getting more successful with his takedowns. You know, he was incessant with his attacks. He was constantly moving forward. He was constantly striking or attempting. Just cardio can be a weapon, and he was using it as such. Come the third,
Yeah, I think
you see it's paid off. He had, what, 3.5 minutes of ride time at least?
you said something about that during the broadcast about, like, you know, cardio being a weapon, and that's certainly what was on display for Ali, because he really did not hit like any speed bumps. Here, we're just gonna let these last few play out.
You got to know LaRue was in the back just like kicking himself like 5 more seconds, 8 seconds earlier, something. But you can always take solace in the fact that if you took an L and this is the fight that you took an L in, at least you fought your ass off. You put on a great display. You showed what you were made of. You showed what you brought to the table, and that day it just didn't go your way. You know what I mean? A hard-fought loss is still something that can be respected.
Ali was just relentless.
Yeah, and especially, you know, coming off injury, a 2-0 guy going against a 3-0 guy. So like you mentioned, it's just a matter about, like, if you're gonna lose, at least let it be to another undefeated, you know, prospect.
That knee
that was
so clearly on a catch, just like on a whim, threw it up. It looked like he was like swinging around. It was so by chance.
Yeah, it happened out of nowhere. But
he just rips the head and just Ali
that
stayed
close,
strong on the head rip, and that's where the knee went.
A good hard-fought contest there between those guys. Ali going to 4-0 and making some waves now. Prior to that, a bantamweight bout with Sadiq Muduev and Julio Cesar Chavez.
Did you say
that was another? Excuse me. That was another lightweight. It's for some reason it is on my list as bantamweight.
What I heard was, Muduev is a 145 who's coming up because he took the fight on 48 hours notice.
Mm-hmm.
So the day before weigh-ins, and I believe they met at 160. So
correct.
And keep in mind, guys, this was our 4th fight on our pro card. This could have been any card's main event. It's crazy that this is number 4. I don't know how it got slotted there, but it did.
I think it was the last minute nature of it. Sadiq came in 11-6, Cesar Chavez 9-6, and what the story of this fight early was some leg kicks from Cesar Chavez. I think right out the gate he blasted away on a calf kick that left a knot.
If you stand in front of Chavez, you're getting your calf chopped up. You can't be still at all. He's going to thump your calf.
And here in this sequence that we're watching right now, this was pretty much the story of the fight, was the takedown and the control of Sadiq.
Gold Digger was 2 years and forget everybody.
Yeah, he was relentless. He was on Julio like a hobo on a ham sandwich.
Like white on rice and a paper plate in a snowstorm. He was all over him, man. But that was what told the tale. Like we were talking in the booth. The reason Chavez's right leg is so devastating is because of how much weight he places on his lead leg. Right? He's set, he's based, he's ready to fire full power at any moment. However, if you have that much weight on your lead leg, then your lead leg is going to be accessible for one, kicks that in return, and takedowns. Muduev was fighting with a right foot lead, so that single leg is even closer, and if nothing else, even more likely. And he used that closeness of lead legs to get in on the body and take away Chavez's biggest weapon.
Let me pull up this next one. Next one was your boy Miles. We had a heavyweight bout, J.R. Crosby and Jackson Stanford.
Miles, is it true that you call him little guy?
Yes, I do.
Okay, just making sure.
I do, even though he is a heavyweight, I do weigh more than him.
Really?
No. I'm glad you looked that surprised.
Does he call you?
Because if you would have said, "Oh yeah, that makes sense," then I definitely would have been like, "What?"
No way, dude. You could probably still be a middleweight if you wanted to.
Give me 2026. I'll drop back down. I'll do one last fight at middleweight in the year.
No, man. Just get under the bar, brother. You're 6'3" or something. Just fight 205.
No, I'm 6'2", barely.
Whatever.
If Sham could drop down to lightweight, I think I could do middleweight.
Here's the thing. Sham of Sham's like whole career, he's only been a 55 as a pro. He fought 170 for like 15 plus fights, walking at 173. He's only like
I remember
he's not
some of his amateur fights. He was at when we fought in Virginia, that was at 55 or 70.
No, 70.
That was at 70.
So did you talk to Jackson after this?
This right here, he does this to me during practice. Like he'll get on, if I'll stop his takedowns because he's been wrestling since he was 5 years old. So a lot of times I know that's coming. So I'll stop his takedown. So he'll just grab, around my waist, turn me around just like that, like he did JR, and just knee my thigh, knee the back of my leg, knee my butt, or whatever. I'm like, dude, keep on doing that in the fight. He's like, man, for real, I didn't really think it did it. I was like, no, it does. Like, I just have a good poker face, but I was like, anybody that you face, it is going to hurt them. So just when you get him up against it, don't even waste your energy trying to drag this big dude down to the ground. Hold him there and just knee him in the butt, knee him in the thigh. Trust me, it'll work. Like,
dude, the power of the Charlie horse, man, it's so effective.
Yeah, people don't realize that you can. And Coach Mike Lee over at the gym, it's ground about against the cage. People feel like, oh, I either got to knock you out or drag you down to the ground. But I can literally hold you up against the cage, pin my head up here, and boom, 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 knee, 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 boom, 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 boom.
Especially if it's round one.
Between here against the cage versus if we're on the floor. It's the same range of the punches. It's the same trajectory. Like, don't waste your energy trying to get somebody down to the ground if you don't have to. Or if you can.
Well, it's a low risk, moderate reward approach. It's worthwhile.
Now, can we get the camera angle where he tapped? Well, he and him
we'll see it
said that he didn't tap.
We were hearing after the
there
show,
it is. Yeah, he tapped.
He tapped two separate occasions. He walked out of the cage and his coach was going, he didn't tap. He didn't tap. Like, he definitely tapped. It was clear. We just saw it. We highlighted it. We talked about it on tape.
Yeah.
Now, was it him tapping, or was it just a simple fact that Jackson was beating him so hard his body was just flopping on? Maybe that's,
Man, rewind it. Can we zoom in?
Maybe that's what it was. So he wasn't intentionally.
When we watched it on replay, it looked clearly like a tap to me.
Maybe that's what it was. His body was bouncing off of the canvas due to Jackson's punches.
No, he reached out. Bop, bop. The only argument he can make is that the rule says 3 taps, or at least it used to, and he might have only done 2.
You would know better than me. You know all the rules. You wrote the rules, so I don't know.
That is an accusation that I do not support.
That was a big win for Jackson Stanford, picking up his second pro win, and facing a hefty fella there. Now we're going to move on to talk about bantamweight bout Ben Harris and David Angel. So one of the Hernandez brothers.
Dude, I'm high up on this family. These kids are freaking good, man.
Yeah, all those guys at American Martial Arts Academy, man. How old is I think the oldest one is like what, 22? If that,
he's 21.
21, yeah, like
Yeah. They're not twins, are they?
No.
Dude, their hands are so crispy. His distance control was really good. Like, look at he shot that body shot underneath Ben's fucking lead hook, right? Almost like he called for it. He feinted him into it. Passes right by the leg, bangs him again. Like, and no, this is not an easy pro debut. Ben Aris is a veteran. He's got 20 fights, 21 fights, something like that. He has been around. You know, David Angel has as well. I believe he's got like 15 or so Muay Thai fights. But this is your first pro, and you're putting it on the line. Like, firstly, beautiful performance. But secondly, like, damn.
Yeah, I think David Angel had a speed advantage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. He really knows how to use his feet and his feints, man. Like, he closes gaps so well.
That was quite a flurry there to finish. Some knees to the head, then a couple of elbows.
You know, we were talking about this before we went live. The AMAA crew, to me at least, only really popped at our first St. Pete show. I hadn't really seen them previously. You know, once at the Beecham when they fought the Machida Sons, and then at that St. Pete show. And honestly, I've been impressed by the majority of their guys. You know, I don't know what kind of like training protocols they use, but all of their guys have really solid defense, really quick response times, really good block triggers, and honestly good form, offensive and defensively. So like, I don't know what they're doing, but they're doing a really good job of it, and they should keep it up.
Yeah, the striking aspect of it definitely I knew was going to be the advantage there for David. Because back like years ago when he was a teenager, him and Seven Perkins fought in like a youth kickboxing bout when they were like, I think like 17 or 18 or something like that. So he definitely has, you know, he comes from a clean striking gym. And that, I think everybody, all the fans, even at the press conference, we knew that was going to be Ben Aris's, you know, grappling versus Angel striking. And I'm surprised that Ben didn't try a little bit, you know, more to get things down to the ground. I don't know if he felt like he had something, you know, to prove or what.
He couldn't get close enough.
Yeah.
He couldn't get close enough. Anytime he reached for him, he was either shucked off, steered off, or took one in the mouth for his efforts. I don't think he got hands on David once.
Yeah, with that big cage, it allowed Angel to do a lot of footwork and maneuvering out the way.
Mm-hmm.
And to kick off the pro card, we had a lightweight bout between Kyle Day and Brian Santiago, both of them making their pro debuts. Brian, former amateur champion for us, and he's trying to become a master on the mic in the post-fight interviews. But we're going to pick up here towards the end of the sequence.
Brian Santiago seems to be the whole package, man. He can really strike. From what I understand, he can grapple his ass off. He's a good wrestler, and he's good on the mic. You know, Kyle Day is a veteran, and that as a pro debut is a dangerous debut. You know, and Santiago picked him apart. Didn't give him a single opportunity. Took advantage of every second.
Yeah, he's on the chat right now. Can we send him a link? Can we pop him up on here on the show? Because he's on the chat.
I can. Brian, if you're in the chat, you want to jump on with us? Just I'll message you on Instagram.
Let's get Mr. Santiago on the chat if he's available. Because we just want to see like what was that like, you know, making that transition from being a Combat Night. We had a couple of people like that, former Combat Night amateur champions like Ben Aris, like Brian Santiago, now transitioning over onto the pro side of things. I know sometimes it could be, you know, a lot of nerves, especially training there, you know, out of Fusion, like a lot of pressure, like, oh man, everybody, you know, I'm expected to do good. Everybody's, you know, got their eyes on me and stuff like that. Like, you know, shoot, what if, you know? But Brian, you know, he definitely, you know, proved it that it's not just hype.
No, dude, he looked great. He really did.
Oh, David Angel said, man, we just train. Nothing special. They just drill a lot.
Shit. Keep drilling. Damn.
And the Lord, of course.
Is it a religious gym?
All right, Brian, I just shot you that link. Let me know if you have any problems with it. So we'll wait for him to.
Those guys over there at American Martial Arts Academy. I know I talk about this a lot, especially with like Seven Perkins in my gym or any of these younger guys, right? You see with Seven, he was super athletic. These the Angel brothers, super athletic, right? A lot of these guys, and you got to think about when the UFC and MMA as a whole is popular. Right? These guys are just foregoing. Some of these people are foregoing playing, high school, scholastic sports, right? By the time they get to the 9th grade, they'll find a local gym and they'll just start their striking there. They'll just start their Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu there. So instead of risking messing up my ankle or risking, concussions with football, they're just, hey, let me find a local MMA gym. Let me do Jiu-Jitsu.
It's true.
Striking.
All right.
Is their sport. Oh, we got him.
Yeah, we got Brian. Let me throw him in here with us.
Uh-oh.
We got
what up, man?
Nah, you guys get the widescreen. Hold up.
Just flip it over.
I'll be like Mitch that one time. I can't get it wide, guys.
You sounded just like him.
Damn, I really am just like him because I can't get it wide.
Let's see if you got your screen lock on.
Yeah, I turned.
Oh, this guy.
Whoa.
I see David Angel said, yeah, they have Bible studies every Friday, and says our coaches pay a lot of attention to us and stay a lot of late nights, so we all take care of each other and love each other. Love to hear it. Here you go.
That's awesome.
I'm back, guys. A little difficulty.
Oh, shit. You're going to pay for this.
Yeah, American Martial Arts Academy, they do Bible study. I heard at Fusion, they just be having freestyle ciphers, so I don't know.
Yeah, bro. It's kind of lit. I'm not going to hold you. Julian got us on the beat machine. He'll make us practice on the beat machine, and then, like, he'll switch it over to, like, do the same thing as we practice. So, like, we switch our cadences. So, like, say we throw 1, 2, and then 1, 2, and, like, just switch up the cadence and stuff like that. It's kind of cool.
So how was that pro debut for you, man?
Brother, it was fun as hell. I can't lie to you. I could curse on here.
Yeah.
Not to. But not gonna lie, not many nerves. I think it's because I used to wrestle. So I got the nervous state out of me. Like, I think my second amateur fight in, but it was very fun. The only thing that sucked was John, who is my teammate, was fighting, and before John was fighting, I was getting my hands wrapped. And then Julian's like, all right, I'm gonna go walk out with John. I'll be right back. I'm like, okay, cool. John's fight's gonna be like 1 round, whatever. He's gonna come back. In the middle of John's fight, Jada comes up to me like, hey, Brian, you're up in 15. I have one hand semi-wrapped. I'm like, damn, 15 minutes. I haven't stretched. I haven't warmed up. I'm sitting here waiting.
That's when you let them know. They say, tell us all the rules. But hey, if you're gonna need more time, let us know. Cool. I was
like, please, can I get 30? She's like maybe 20, maybe 25. Retro comes back, like, I want to say 10, 15. He's like, all right, you got 10 more minutes. I can maybe give you 20, but like, you're supposed to be on right now. And I'm like, all right, thank you, bro. Thank you. I literally just finished getting my hands wrapped. I'm warming up. I want to say hit and miss. I don't like to go crazy. I don't like to grapple crazy. I like to just do very basic 1, 2, move out the way, move my head. And it's once I step in the cage, I listen to my music, I'm hyped. It's once I step in the cage, I'm always like, oh, bro, this is where I'm meant to be. It's always fun in there. There's no nerves. As soon as I step in the cage, I dap up my opponent, I dap up my opponent's coach, and I'm like, I'm ready to go.
How was the weight cut for you?
The weight cut for me was great. I'm not gonna hold you. I started at 190. And
wow.
Well, you were like 190 on Thursday, or you started camp at 190?
No, I started camp at 190.
Okay.
I want to say by Sunday I was 165. I like to be like 10 to 12 pounds over when I start my water load. This is only my third fight at 55, and not gonna lie, Kyle missed by 6 pounds, and I would have loved it if he hit me up and been like, yo, man, can we make 160, 165? I would have been perfectly fine with that. So I'm like, damn, this ass, bro, because I worked my ass off. I took my whole week off from work just so I could cut weight because I don't want to be at work grouchy as hell, serving customers, giving them attitude. I don't like to be that guy. I just like to train. I like to have fun. So I bust my ass off. I want to say this was my easiest weight cut, even starting at 190. This is my easiest weight cut. So it's only getting better. It's only up from here.
Nice.
So, have you had anyone that's been able to take you down yet?
In the gym? Yeah, all the time.
In competition, though?
The competition? When I wrestled, yeah. But my last fight, I got taken out like 3 times.
Oh, yeah.
Versus Blake Menard. Yeah, he took me down 3 times. Once he caught like a kick, I kicked him in the face, and he just caught it and just ran with it. And I was like, damn, there's no way he just ate that.
Yeah, but that's catching a kick and run. I mean, if someone like setting you up.
No,
I don't think I've seen it.
Just Blake, that's it. But I think I'm a very great wrestler. Even Blake, I think I was. I thought like I was a way better wrestler than him, so I didn't care if he took me down because I was like, if he takes me down, it doesn't matter. I can reverse him. I can stand up. Like it's MMA. I'm gonna have to do jiu-jitsu. It don't matter.
Yeah.
That's one thing.
Who is?
Yeah.
Go ahead. No, I was going to ask you a different question. You can finish your thought.
All I was gonna say is that's one thing I think people are very one-dimensional at is like they want to take you down and they want to stay there, or they want to stand up and they're not about that whole okay, if I get taken down, that's okay with me. It's my coach has a rule where it's 5 seconds most. It's 1, 2, 3. You have to start to get up. By that 5th second, you should be in the process of already standing up. But you got to be okay with being taken down because at the highest level, fighting the highest guys, you're gonna get taken down. No matter if you're fighting the best striker or the best grappler. Like
yeah, it's inevitable.
Yeah.
So I was going to say, so this is your first pro fight. You transitioned from amateur. You're shouting out a lot of sponsors at the end. How's that going for you picking up sponsors? And would you have any advice? And you want to like pitch any sponsors now?
Nah, I pitched out all my sponsors. But advice for people is honestly like the same thing that Mitch says: is talk to everybody, be friendly, be nice. The only reason I got my sponsors is because I'm a nice guy, and half of them are my friends. You have to go to people you know. Half of them are my friends and my friends' families who own companies, and they like, hey, Brian, I've known you since high school because you wrestled with my son. Oh, I see that you're continuing your career and you love your career. I'd love to support you. What can I do for you? And then that's great for me because I never have to go out to them like, hey, this and that. I've been fighting for this long. I've been training for this long. You know, I would love for you to support me. This is what I could do for you. They hit me up and they're like, hey, how can I support you? There are also people that I've met because of them that have sponsored me, like Taco Town and Radiant Solar, like things like that. It's like people I met because of my sponsors that also got me partnerships as well. And it's just being a nice guy. It's being a nice person. Because if you give great energy and you show that you're compassionate in what you want to do, people are gonna want to help you. You know, people are not gonna want to bring you down. Some people are, but it just depends on the people you put yourself around.
So what you're saying is it's possible to make money and make friends at the same time?
Of course, bro. It's all about that. Of course, bro. It's funny.
I think you gotta
everybody always
change
asks,
your.
like, how they
I think you
get
gotta
that
change your
nickname.
name now.
Bro,
Make
When
money.
you go talk with some fight shirts, that's what I want. I want a Brian Santiago make money not friends fight shirt.
Which is a way to make money.
yeah, Retro's gonna do that for me.
All right, put me down on the list for an extra large.
I got you, bro.
Don't lie to him, Miles. You need a double XL.
No,
So
I a large. I'm trying to just, for a Brian Santiago shirt, I don't need a tight fitted one. I need a nice loose, area.
A going out shirt.
Yeah.
So when you trying to get back in there?
Man, I wanted in Tallahassee, and Richard said that there's a 7-day suspension on anybody who fights.
I thought it was
just period.
21.
Yeah. So he said 7 days. So I was talking to somebody about it. And they were like, "Why don't they just make your fight at 12 p.m.?" I'm like, "That'd be cool, but like that would suck because I've done combat night crew, and I'm like, fuck no, I'm not trying to wait till 12 p.m. to take down. Hell no.
Also, they don't want to be in the venue that long.
No,
Those are
No,
hours you got to pay for.
we definitely trying to be out of there before midnight.
exactly, bro. If we could get everything done before midnight, bro, that's a blessing.
The October
for
card,
sure.
bro.
October card for sure. I already hit up Rich today, and Rich said he's gonna try his best to get me on that. I'm excited for that.
Hey man, well, thanks for popping on with us. It was good to talk to you.
Thank you guys for having me on this.
Yeah, man.
Certainly.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah, man. Congrats.
Watching you guys. Thank you, brother.
Cool. All right, man. We'll see you.
All right, you guys have a wonderful night. Deuces.
You too, bud. Yeah, let's glad Brian jumped on with us. Brian Santiago. Check him out on Instagram, Make Money Not Friends. Let's speed run the amateur undercard. See if you could I'm gonna say the fight and see if you can give like a sentence or two. Challenge. Accepted?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Undercard, main event, title, John Michael Morea, TKO win in round 2 over Drew Onega. Ben.
I was in the back wrapping hands. I'm very disappointed. I really wanted to call that fight.
Miles.
Champ, future pro on the rise.
Absolutely. John Michael Morea, fantastic performance against a very stout, heavy wrestler, and got it done and looked fantastic doing it. Undercard, co-main event, Kenyon Smith. This was advanced light heavyweight Muay Thai, so they had the ability to use elbows. Kenyon Smith won it by a TKO in round 2 against Warren Panasco.
I felt bad for Warren. I felt bad, man. Kenny just picked them apart. Like I was just like, man, his coaches were trying to wave it like, no, we good on the stool after the first round. And he's like, there's a thin line between like, you know, going out on your sword versus like, hey man, just give it up. Like
2-0 versus 8-2 is a hard scrap. It's an uphill battle.
Where did those 2-0s come from? Was it in combat? Was it a Combat Night 2-0 or somewhere else? No disrespect, but
it is what it is.
It is what it is. Prior to that, featherweight, Dylan Sawyer, round 1, rear naked choke versus Tyler Martin. That was the buzzer beater rear naked choke.
Yeah, he could. I know he was going to probably watch that fight, but man, I should have just held on just for like 2 seconds, just tuck my chin a little bit more, just take a deep breath, or next time just go out and just, you know, see what happens. Like
advanced Muay Thai, Keith Forbes, Swaby. Did you see that one?
Yeah. Okay. This was one of my must-watch ones. I'm a big fan of both of these guys. They're drastically different and very much the same. They're both prospects. Forbes is the super athlete, relies on his athleticism more than his technique. Swaby, very athletic, but able to be technique first. So you saw a tactician versus the athlete, and it was a fantastic fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Another young gun and Swaby out of the American Martial Arts Academy. And then we've seen Keith Forbes. This was his first fight back from him suffering a hand injury and also changing camps, now being over there at Dark Wolf. So definitely we'll see both of these guys, you know, back in here in the Combat very soon. So looking forward to seeing both of them. But phenomenal performance there by Swaby. You could definitely, like I said, those MMA guys, they definitely hit about it.
Prior to that, Extreme Kickboxing or Extreme, Carlos Diaz and Antonio Ramos. This went to a majority draw, but they definitely got busy.
Oh, man. Ramos won that fight. He won every round. He was chasing Diaz down. And in the first, Diaz cut a corner on him, clipped him with like a hook. We in the booth were saying it looked like back of the head. And Ramos had a stumble, but a drop, and it got called for the 8 count. But Ramos won every second of the fight leading up to it and every second of the fight after it. I kind of thought that first round would have been 9-9 because of the knockdown.
Mm-hmm.
But, that's not a very common happening.
Yeah, same here. Maybe I'm biased because I trained with Antonio Ramos, but I thought that he won. He was just every step of the way, like you mentioned, just a little bit, first, and it was just more active overall in that fight.
Bantamweight bout between Angel Collazo and Kevin Angel. Extremely spicy face-off. Kevin Angel and Angel Collazo threw down. Kevin Angel looked fantastic in that fight. Go.
He really did, playing with levels, highs, lows, lots of body work. He had Collazo confused. He looked almost frozen. That being said, when Collazo took the initiative and attacked first and attacked aggressively, he made contact. He did hit Kevin. Kevin's got fantastic defense, and also the base of the Angel brothers is fantastic. They're taking shots and their hips and legs aren't moving. They're just firing right through while getting hit well. That was just a dogfight and really impressive. Beautiful performance by both gentlemen and a fantastic win for Kevin Angel. Yeah,
absolutely. Again, the AMA guys, man, they just definitely, you see these young guys, and a 19-year-old and the younger Angel brother versus a 25-year-old, I believe, is Angel Collazo. So, it's no, big bro trying to push around the little bro. Just because he's 19, he definitely came out there active. And I believe that what the difference was that he just listened, to the game, stuck to his game plan of his coaches more so than Collazo did. So that's what it's all about. Doesn't matter how many years you've been training, doesn't matter, what your skill set or physique is or anything like that. As long as I'd rather take a guy who listens more to his corner than a guy who, checks all the boxes from a physicality standpoint.
And I'll also state that Kevin Angel tried to kick a hole into Angel Collazo's chest.
Yeah.
So much so that they thought that his toenail had cut him, and then they inspected his toenails and saw that nope, they were good, but he was bleeding from the middle of his sternum where he got kicked. That was crazy. Bantamweight bout: Trevor Donahue and Clay Hurley. Clay Hurley picked up the win via TKO in round 2.
I would just say just relentless. Sometimes if you don't get the finish in the first round, you got to keep on trying until eventually you do. And that's what, Clay Hurley did. Relentless for this one is what I would describe it in one word, one sentence.
Middleweight kickboxing, Kobe Noble and Ian Young. Ian Young wins via TKO in round 2.
This was another one, no disrespect, but I trained with Ian Young. Kobe Noble, he did have a chance. And you saw that right off the bat from the very first 15, 20 seconds. Ian Young definitely, unsuccessful in his last bout against Canyon Young. That was the first time he's ever tasted, defeat in his kickboxing career. So he definitely had something to prove in here. And in sparring with him, I knew whoever was the next person I was going to go against him was definitely going to have to pay. And unfortunately, it was Kobe Noble.
Super seasoned Dwan White versus Lucas Smith making his debut. Lucas Smith picked up the win via rear naked choke in round 2 and looked fantastic in doing so.
We were talking in the booth. Who is this kid who's making his debut, fighting someone with 11 fights and looking good doing it? I ran into his Muay Thai coach afterwards, and I was like, yo, who is this kid? And he was like, oh, man, he's a fantastic grappler. Julian met him. He did a tournament, a couple months ago where he, as a blue belt, submitted 3 black belts to take the bracket. And Julian Lane was apparently like, take him, make him a striker. And that's what we got for a debut. The kid looked fantastic. He looked seasoned way beyond his record.
Heavyweight in MMA, Christian Wendt versus Matthew Kaser. Big Chop picked up the win via TKO in round 3.
I'm going to say definitely all the hard work, that we've been working in the gym, man, it paid off. I know sometimes that unk status and me, pushing Big Chop, hey man, come on, okay man, come on, let's keep it going, be active, keep your hands up, all that stuff, taking him down and just the grinding on top of him just so he knows, what's it like transition from kickboxing to MMA. But you see it paid off.
Yeah, Chop looked good. He looked and was the fresher of the two men, and that certainly paid off for him in his MMA debut.
What is Chop? Like, where does it come from? What's it mean?
Just there's if Chief Keef, the rapper.
Okay.
Yeah, one of his engineers.
Yes.
He has an engineer that looks similar to Christian. So like a couple years ago, another young fighter from the jungle lives in Vegas now. He was like, man, you look like that dude Chop, Chief Keef's engineer, and then we just call him Big Chop. It just stuck from there. Just a look-alike.
There was a youth Muay Thai bout, Jaden Ruiz and Jordan Thompson, 17 and 16 years old. Jordan Thompson picked up unanimous decision and stayed undefeated, taking his record to 4-0.
Another AMA prospect, Jordan Thompson, looked really impressive in his output. He looked just like he did 2 months ago at the Beecham. He's a hand-heavy puncher. He likes to throw them, just like the Angel Boys. Strong base, takes a hit, fires through it. Looked really, really good, very aggressive. A little repetitive on his combination choice, a little direct on his footwork, but he's young. He's only got 4 fights, and he's 16 years old. He's got a very bright future ahead of him.
Yeah, just wait until this guy turns, like you said, 21. Like right now, he's just the way that he's just throwing just straight power and just beating dudes at 16. I can only imagine once he turns 21 how phenomenal he's going to be.
All right, we're almost there. Home stretch. Bantamweight women's bout. Melissa Montenegro over Leah Moxley picked up a unanimous decision victory. And that's a fact. Featherweight MMA bout. Brent Kent and Daniel Gomez. Gomez making his debut against a guy with a handful of fights in Brent Kent, and picked up unanimous decision win.
Yeah, Dirty Daniel Gomez, man. That's what we call him at the gym, Dirty Dan. We've been waiting for him to make his debut, for a minute, and it just definitely, went how we thought. He's definitely a grueling grappler, so utilized that to his advantage. But he got touched up, and then he also too touched up Brent Kent. But it was just basically just the cardio, the resiliency, I would call, this fight from round 1 to round 3. As the fight went on, you saw the resiliency there of Daniel Gomez.
And then our first fight of the evening was bangarang between a couple of 15-year-olds, Moses Bravo and Isaac Morales. Morales won via unanimous decision, but man, did they kick off the night with that kickboxing fight.
Man, I got to assume that Bravo does not cut weight because Morales was like a full head and shoulders taller than him, if I remember correctly. Bravo did not back down from nothing. It's crazy he's 0-2 because he is very good. But the kids he has fought have also been very good. The teams that we're seeing in the Combatagon, we haven't seen any duds. We've seen no teams that suck. They're all badasses. Which, I mean, the highest of prospects and the highest of praise to the gyms in Florida that are creating these youthful warriors because they're awesome to watch. Isaac Morales, I think this is the first or second time I've seen him fight. Extremely impressive, very aggressive, excellent fighter. His coaches are doing fantastic work.
Just wait until we do whatever the anniversary is, Combat Night, 2030. Just imagine how all of these young teenager guys now, once they on the other side of 21, just seeing this is gonna be crazy. Especially all these young kickboxers. Also, to start doing jiu-jitsu, so put the little gloves on, do some MMA. I'm just excited to see what the future holds for all these young fighters with Combat Night.
And think about this: in the next couple of years, we're going to be famous to a generation of kids.
Yeah, there's definitely it was in Jacksonville where it's I don't know if I told the story before, but it's this is when I knew I reached Combat Night OG status or Combat Night Unk status, where I was going to the bathroom. And this dude, he didn't look young. He looked 21 maybe or something like that, 21, 22. And he was, oh man, my dad took me to see your fight before when I was younger. I was like, what?
With your old ass, man.
That's dope.
See your fight, man. You the truth, man. He said you the truth, man. when he took me to see your fight, he said you the truth, man. And you did that dude in, man. You did that dude in. I was like, thank you, man. He's like, oh, man, you don't fight no more? I was like, yeah, not really. He's like, man, you the truth, man. I was like, thank you. Like,
cool.
so little stuff like
dope.
that, going, you know, to the bathroom and whatnot. That I still just
Why are you always in the bathroom?
I don't know. It just happens on my way to well, that's when I get a break into the people, into the fans, is as I walk on my way to the bathroom. So that's when people stop me. They're like, hey, yo, Sam, you know, so
He might not have known about the staff bathroom, Ben.
no, that story was in Jacksonville. But no, I didn't know about this staff bathroom here in Orlando.
I just found out about it yesterday.
I asked the people working, hey, is there another bathroom I can? Because there was one bathroom in the front that had a super ridiculous long line, but then I went to the other bathroom on the other side for the other guests, and that bathroom was significantly shorter.
This
is a private bathroom. This ain't for nobody. It's blocked off.
I'll show you next time.
Next time. I got you. Next time we're in Orlando for the pro show.
We can't talk about it. People will know, and they'll know.
No, we can't talk about it.
Okay.
All right. Well, we made it through that. We are going to be right back at it. I love these back-to-back weeks make me feel like, man, we really moving and shaking. So we'll be back on. We'll be back on Friday with another pre-show for our Tallahassee card that is on Saturday, and obviously we'll be back the following Sunday to recap it again. But I'm heading to Tallahassee on Tuesday. And we're going to see if we can throw together a press conference or something up there for this show as well. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to seeing you guys there.
Not at the press conference, but I'll be at the fights.
Yeah, no, I know you'll be at the press conference. Mitch, you're going to have to tote the load there.
You're going to have to come
good. As far as the Tallahassee card, any obviously apple pie versus Kevin Hine.
Yeah, at least you don't have to cut any weight for this fight.
What?
They're fighting for the heavyweight Combat Night Heavyweight Championship belt.
Oh Jesus!
Woo! Yeah, looking forward to that. And I know we've got a bunch of other good fights on that card. We've been announcing those throughout the course of the last week or so. And can't wait to that. That's where it all started. That's how we always refer to Tallahassee, is where it all started. And we love to go back there and do our pro shows there at the Moon. But y'all got any? No.
The chicken wings is always on my Tallahassee trip. The chicken wings afterwards.
Is that Sharks?
Not Sharkies itself. Being able to just eat the chicken wing. That's the highlight for me. Yeah,
I think I'm not certain if the after parties is at that place or if it's at someplace else. I'm not positive about that, but I mean, after party. We used to do after parties all the time back in the day, and I never even went to them, and then we kind of got away from doing them. And I think Tallahassee's the last place that we actually still do an official after party.
We should be able to we should do something like that, like at the beach, and like everybody go to this specific club or something like that. Like there's a whole bunch of places.
Well, it used to be like, oh, if you were at Combat Night, you could get back into the club with your band from our event for free.
Yeah.
But as we've gotten older, I've always been 7 or 8 years older than like Mitchell and Josh, but as they got older, it was like, let me just go home. But all right, boys, appreciate y'all joining me.
Yeah.
And we'll see you on a Friday, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Peace.
See ya.
Are you ready for Combat Night?